So we're opening this meeting. This is a hybrid meeting, Monday, July 15th, 10 a.m. of the Town of Eastham Search Committee hybrid meeting. We are offering in-person and remote participation. We are meeting here, like I said, at Eastham Town Hall. This meeting will be recorded for future rebroadcast, and it will be posted to the on demand on the town website, eastham-ma.gov. Okay. It appears that no one is joining us by Zoom, so that's fine. Attending today are Kate Paradise, Gergana, Aleksieva, Merrill Davidson, Ellen Greer, and D. Mattfeldt. So welcome, everyone. Merrill and Ellen in particular, welcome. Thank you for your willingness to join the search committee. We're thrilled that you're here. The first thing that we need to do is, because we're in the beginning of a new fiscal year, we need to have a chairperson and we need to have a clerk. I am willing to have a year as chairperson because I completed the prior chairperson's term.
Right.
On June 30th, so I'm willing to have my own term for one more year. And then from there, I think all of you folks need to be thinking about whether or not you're willing to chair this committee. So if there's,
I would like to motion that Kate remain as chair for one more year.
I'll second.
Okay.
any discussion on the motion?
I
All in favor?
All in favor, say aye.
Okay,
really can.
any
That was-
opposed? Any abstentions? Okay, we're good, good. Following Robert's Rules of Order. Okay, so
Okay.
with clerk. Ellen had made a very creative suggestion in her interview with us that we can take turns making notes. However, I did check and the town needs to have a clerk
Right.
on record.
Right, right.
So is someone willing to volunteer to be the clerk, knowing that you're going to be fully supported and helped, and you won't be hung out to dry on any of this?
What does the clerk actually do?
The clerk is responsible for the gathering of the minutes, getting them out. Well, getting them, I would say getting them to the chairperson, who then can get them to the committee. By open meeting guidelines and rules, we, as I said in my email to everybody last night, we can't conduct business by email because everything has to be done in the open
Right.
meeting stance with anybody from the public able to come in and weigh in. So the minutes would then be approved at the following, hopefully the following meeting. And then those minutes would be, any corrections would be made, and then those minutes would be forwarded to our partner upstairs, Kendra Menard, who is our staff person, and she then posts them on the town website. Does that answer your question?
Yes, I was just wondering
Yeah,
Okay,
what the job
so they
entails.
take the minutes, type
So-
them up. And
send them to
then
the
we
chair.
approve them in the
So
next minute.
somebody, but if we're going to rotate that responsibility anyway,
No, we're not, we can't.
no, no,
Well,
no.
you can just have
We
a,
can, the note taker.
We can have a
be
note taker
rotated.
who gets them to the clerk.
right. Oh,
So we can take turns. One person is not gonna, I feel like,
I see.
from my conversations with you, Dee, I feel like it's a lot to ask one person to always be responsible. And sometimes I know for me, when I'm busy taking notes, I'm not
Right.
listening
Participate, right.
because I'm trying to focus on what was said and I'm always lagging behind. So
Gergana has a suggestion, I see it. It's at the
I
typical.
have a suggestion.
what's that?
There is a, I know we discussed it before, but maybe now we can try it. There's so many like note takers that we can use. it's open meeting, so we can record this. And I can try this meeting, taking notes, then I can convert it in minutes and send it to you, just to review this time. So
Okay.
you
Okay.
can
that'd be
take
good. I'm
notes
just
now.
gonna warn you though, Gergana, because I did try that. And what gets recorded is lots of it is garbled. You can't really understand it. We're not really that
Yeah,
clear.
right.
And it's long. And so it's difficult. I've even tried recording it with my own recorder and tried that, and then go home and do it. And you can't get everybody's conversation, so it's almost, you have to take the notes while. you see
And
it.
Ellen is absolutely
It's
correct.
really
I,
good.
when I was
Unless you wanna spend
responsible for the
hours.
2 months of the notes that I did, and I
Yeah.
did it from the recording.
Yeah,
There was so much.
yeah.
It was overwhelming. My suggestion,
So let
and
me
the way that I would
She
take
was
the notes is just under each item, just jot down. The meeting notes are not everything that happened in the meeting.
Correct,
Right.
They
yes,
are a sense of the meeting, and the only thing we're obligated to do under Robert's Rules of Order and
Right.
town guidelines is if there is a motion, to get the exact wording of the motion, and then who made the motion, who seconded it, and the sense of the meeting as to the voting.
correct.
Right.
So we are using this at work, and I know what is a summary and what is a full transcript, so there is a difference in that. So that's why I'm suggesting just recording this today, just trying it out.
It is
You will
recording.
take
I'm,
notes for
I'm with
today.
you on this,
Yes.
yes.
We
Yeah.
just try
You
it.
wanna try it?
Yes.
Absolutely. Go for it.
Go for it. And
Yeah.
if you
Just
want
try it.
Together we'll work on it.
Yes, then I'm gonna compare the transcript
Okay.
with
To
this.
this,
Yes, and we're gonna send it to
Once
the
you're done with
chairperson,
it, right,
yes.
once you're done.
just to
right.
see.
I love it.
Okay, I love
Give
it.
a shot.
Great,
Give it
perfect.
a shot.
So
Thank
we
you.
have to get back to who's gonna be named clerk.
Yeah, who's gonna be the
Officially.
designated clerk?
Right,
I can volunteer.
wonderful.
You do, you volunteer?
I don't you love this
Yeah.
guy?
I love
Yes.
you.
Thank you,
I
Merrill.
love this guy.
Yeah.
This time around, and, so that we can file it properly.
Right.
So I will take hold of filing it. But I
Nice.
think the rotational thing that Ellen suggested,
Mhm.
we should do that as,
Okay, great.
so that I'm not always taking notes.
Yeah. It's a lot, I mean.
It's a
I'll tell you,
lot,
This,
and
this,
if, you know, we take
this
turns.
is not
we
so,
pick.
but it's,
So-
to take turns is nice,
I hear
everybody.
Merrill is making a motion to putting his hand up to be the clerk for this fiscal year. Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? We're good.
You're the best.
Thank you so much.
Just gonna raise my hand and oppose. Just kidding, everybody.
Just seeing if you were paying attention. Okay.
I wrote it down.
Now, we have,
Gosh,
did everybody bring a copy of last month's meeting minutes? If you don't have them, this was from Monday, June 17th. Here's a copy for
I'll
you.
look on it. Paper. Easier. And I like this nice big font, whoever did that, you did that,
That
Kate?
was, no, that was our dear friend Gail, whom
Oh,
we miss,
yes.
whom we miss. All right, are there any corrections to these minutes? Now, hearing none, may I have a motion to accept the minutes?
I make a motion to accept the minutes.
Is there a second?
I see.
All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Abstentions? Okay. All right. Upcoming vacancies and updates, placements, urgent needs and applicants pending. I did make a copy of the vacancy report for each of you. Gail's name is on this, so once we settle who's doing what, they will change that upstairs. I believe Kendra's on vacation, but someone, perhaps Rachel, will go in and change the designated liaisons. I just want to quickly go through this. And what we can do is also give updates where they're appropriate. In fact, how would you like to do this, Gergana, since you're taking notes today? Is there anything that you want to just go through it?
Yeah, just go to it.
Okay. So, the Board of Assessors, that's yours, Dee.
Yeah, we're doing fine with that. Andrew Scott just needs to be sworn in, and then they may want an alternate, but, I'm not hearing anything from the chair about that. So they're full.
Great. Okay, the Board of Health is full. They're not seeking anybody right now. They're both alternate positions, but there's nothing urgent right now. Climate action.
Climate action, I
Climate
have,
action.
two interviews to be scheduled this week or next week for one position. And, I'm working on that with, the chair and, Jerry Sarasat.
Perfect.
Are
So
there
two
two
people for
positions?
one position?
There's one position remaining open,
Oh,
but there's two candidates, so he wants to.
okay, so that
interview.
means two here.
Right, keep in mind with this report that, if someone is pending, they will not be, that seat will not be removed until that person's name has gone on the select board agenda, and the select board has approved that person, or the moderator has informed the select board at an open meeting that they've appointed
Right.
someone. Or in the case of what we'll come up with next, the finance committee, if they have an appointment to make, they have to get on the select board agenda and make the appointment as well. So we're always gonna lag behind a little bit.
So, I want to be clear, it's, so there's two seats here, one is moderator appointed and one is
So
select
one
board
of them,
approved.
they're both select board appointed,
Okay,
but one of them is already pended. They've already got
somebody,
someone.
okay,
They just haven't gone before the select board. The
Okay.
next select board meeting is on the 22nd.
okay, so that will
Monday
be
the
the
22nd.
second seat that will get filled,
Right, and Dee's on it.
all right.
Got it. The Community Preservation Committee, my sense from Gail, and whoever takes this will probably want to, connect with the chairperson. My sense is there was never any particular, urgency to this. And as you can see, one of them is, an Eastham Affordable Housing Trust representative, so it has nothing whatsoever to do with us anyway. The only one that we would be the only one we would be working on is, actually none of them, because
Neither
one is
is-
historical, one is
There's a planning board, yeah.
Okay, and I have to
They're
figure out a
good.
way to make these disappear off this report.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
agree.
no, that's good though.
That
Okay,
does make
that-
sense.
but
We don't
that's
do-
good
we
news.
don't need
Explains
any-
it.
You don't
have to
need
do
anybody
anything.
on the select committee for this.
Nope.
No,
Okay. Great.
Conservation is going to be up for grabs. Do you remember what Gail had said about conservation? I thought that was full.
no, I
That's,
don't remember.
Okay, we'll just table that one.
I just know it's a difficult commission to fill because of their requirements. It's not just anybody can get on there because they need some expertise in the area.
So they have one position open.
It may be open, we'll have to go in and look, it may be, they may have filled it. Sometimes these committees will, fill them. And then we just have the formality of bringing it to, which is nice, we just have to be kept in the
Right,
loop.
right.
The Council on Aging, has had a change in their chairperson, a change in their clerk. And they have one seat that is available. There were 6 people that were, whose terms were coming to an end. 5 of the 6 were reappointed. Are you aware of this one? Because that's who they want. Have you talked with her yet?
No.
Okay, it went to you. So whoever takes the Council on Aging, they have this person, and this is what an application looks like when you.
It's
Good to-
Gergana's, isn't it?
Yeah, it's mine.
It's her.
I thought you were giving it up.
Well, it was mine.
Right.
Oh, I'm
Yes.
sorry, okay, I'm sorry.
Right, she's,
Um,
so
I'm with
whoever,
you now. I'm with
this
you now.
person is Dr. Lindsay Boyne, otherwise known as Lindy, and she was, do you know her?
Yeah, she's John's wife. Yep.
John's wife, okay.
And I bought
Okay.
my house from
So
her.
whoever takes the Council on Aging,
Yeah, she's lovely.
please get in touch with this person
I didn't know
because
she was a doctor.
the Council on Aging wants that one seat filled.
And there is another person, that Joanne sent me as a contact, Dave Schroeder. And I have only a phone number of him, so we can add it to them.
Has Dave applied?
No,
Okay,
Joanne said to call him
okay,
and explain him the process of applying, so.
okay, well, Joan, when I spoke with Joan, she wants the one seat filled by this person, so.
Just saying.
Okay, Cultural Council, those are yours. Gergana.
I don't have anybody applying, I have one person applying, for this, nobody new. No new applications, I sent to the chairperson 2 emails, I also met him, he works upstairs. And asked him to just review the application. I'm gonna go today again to ask him to review the the volunteer application, just
Okay.
as a reminder.
Is that the clerk's office that you check in?
Who's the chair?
No,
you
it's
collect-
Brian. Levy. I just can't pronounce.
Valley.
Yeah, so I'll just go and check up with him.
All right, is he the chairperson of the Cultural
Yeah.
Council? Okay, it would be the chairperson that you would coordinate with. And just for the record, Ellen, you've done this before, so some of this may be redundant. Dee is going to be mentoring Merrill. So you are learning from the best.
I did, I already mentored him, I gave him. I gave him. He's done.
Good. The process?
Yeah, yeah, you want one of those? Yeah, wait, I got one for you.
It's a closure.
And I've asked for.
Yes, Gergana made it.
Yeah,
Gergana made this beautiful flow chart. And I'll be sending it to you. I just didn't want to overload you with stuff last night in email.
Great. Pretty?
I like it.
Okay,
Yeah.
so are we done with cultural okay,
Yeah.
so the finance committee does have one opening, that's mine. And I am working with Mary Shaw and with Peter Wade on that one. So, that will be filled. Old Town Historic District Commission, for the first time, is full.
Yay.
My team is full. We've got 2 people that have gone on that have yet to be sworn in because they have to go before so we've got one more, one had gone on, one is another active seat, and the 2 alternates, what's happened is the Historical Commission and Old Town
Center.
Old Town Center Historic District Commission. They work together and there's going to be sort of a merge, not merging formally,
Right.
but them working
Huh.
together.
Okay.
And what they've told me on the historical commission is people from historical will go to the one mandated meeting for Old Town per year. And if anybody is missing, they can have that seat, voice, and vote and sit in as an alternate.
Oh, all right.
So
Okay.
it's really very, very, very exciting. We've got some historians, people that are trained archivists, and they're on this committee, so it's really kind of exciting that we've got that happening. Also, Ellen, since you have been
Want me to take
absent,
this?
the cemetery committee has been merged into
Historical.
historical, okay? So,
That's good.
so it's all really, really good.
So Old Town Center Historic District is,
It's all set.
it's all historic.
It's just a very small,
And
it's
it's a
basically
small-
Locust Avenue.
Okay,
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's the
she just-
schoolhouse.
Mike
Yeah.
is the chair, so he doesn't even know this, I don't know.
Well,
He somehow got to be the chair, he came back after 15 minutes of the meeting, and said, oh, they didn't have the meeting, he said, yeah, no, they had it. I think I'm the chair now.
well, I tried to reach him
You did?
and I couldn't get him. So the two interviews that happened for the two people were with Eileen Morgan.
Oh,
I
okay,
left a couple of messages and that's your husband, right?
that's my husband, yeah.
Yeah, my-
Where did you meet?
yeah,
Yeah, where'd you?
This was like a month ago.
Email or?
Email and phone call.
Oh.
It's all right. It's okay.
You
No
can
harm,
get
no
'em,
foul.
yeah,
When I don't reach somebody, I just go in the list of people and,
Yeah.
he wasn't designated in there as chair, so I just
yeah.
went
Well,
down the
I mean,
list until
he's not
somebody
that-
answered my phone call.
He's desiring it, so with Eileen Morgan wants to do it, that might, but anyway, go ahead.
Okay, so anyway, open space.
That's the one that Conservation Commission has to be.
That's
Okay,
big.
that's right.
Yeah,
Okay,
okay,
so
good.
that one, we can take that off that
Mhm.
board too. The planning board is an alternate. Anything on that? Two alternates? Dee?
I have not been paying attention to them at all.
Okay. It's all right.
I'm not sure, on the planning board. Where I stand. I'll get on that.
Okay.
You think it's just an alternate? I know we
They're
just,
both alternates, so it may be that there's no
They're-
interest, but we,
yeah,
be nice to
because we
hear.
got Michelle Beyond on there and
Yes.
that was filling a seat and then I kind of let that
Yeah,
go.
we've been rocking and rolling, and if we are, as a committee, filling alternate slots and we've got other things going on, then we're in,
Yeah,
we're in
good.
better
We're
shape,
good.
we've been in a lot. So,
Recycling, we're good on recycling. Well, she has one open, I should take that back, there's one chair open. And we just filled one,
okay,
so. We're waiting for applicants, to be honest with you.
Their
Okay.
chair is stepping down, right?
Yeah, Gretchen
Gretchen, right?
is stepping down, I don't know who's gonna pick it up, and Jerry, resigned. Seneca,
Gary,
Gary,
yeah,
yeah.
Yeah.
So, okay.
all right. The search committee. Yay, we have 5, and just to let you guys know. Before Gail went out of, office, she sent me, some suggestions and, she had always attended the Eastham Part-Time Resident Taxpayers Association meeting. And so I attended that meeting this past couple of weeks. And it was actually wonderful because Jackie Beebe was up in front answering a lot of questions. People had a ton of questions. One of the questions that comes up every year is, why can't I vote? And of course, it's not an Eastham thing or a Barnstable County thing. This is a state thing, Commonwealth of Massachusetts thing, where if you're a part-time resident, you vote in one or the other,
yeah.
you can't vote in both. But that led her to say, however, there are things you can do. And she started talking about the town boards, committees, commissions, and all of that, where there are part-time residents who can apply. And I'm standing in the back of the room with the few brochures I had left, and I'm doing this, waving them, and Jackie looked at me and she said, and the search committee is here. So I walked around and people wanted the brochure. And out of that, we have gotten a couple of people that have applied, and one of them is a person who I was at the swag table with, who is a former HR executive. She's extraordinary, and she's applied for the search committee, so we'll have potentially a part-time resident
Nice,
whose voice can be heard on the search committee, where
yeah.
we're the doorway
Good idea.
to
That's good.
everything else. So I thought it was a wonderful idea that Gail came up with that, and I'm really excited that we're gonna have.
Yeah.
So,
Absolutely.
Yeah, we,
We're
you and I
here
talked
now.
about this my question to you was because there was a problem with someone not being able to attend enough meetings throughout the year.
mhm.
Do you have a
People could-
follow up with her on that? I mean, is she gonna be,
She's
here
gonna be
for
here,
3 months
or
in
she's
the
gonna,
summer?
no, she's gonna Zoom.
No, okay, so one of the other committees said, well, we don't want you to Zoom 9 months of the year and only be at the meetings 3 months of the year. And so I said, you and I discussed whether or not she was gonna be able to attend meetings with us.
I think that she brings an experience and some perspectives that I think will benefit the committee, and I don't think that there's a guideline. I can check upstairs. I don't,
No, I'm not saying there's a guideline, I'm just saying for the us to be able to work with her.
so let's talk about it.
I mean, well,
How do you guys feel about it?
Well, I would like her to be present more than just 3 months of the summer. If, and because
And
1
we
month
can
we're not
talk.
here.
And we can talk about that
So
when we
see what
interview
we-
her on
so
Wednesday.
See how much she's
And
willing
if
to
she,
attend.
and if she is only gonna be here 3 months of the year, my sense is she's gonna be here more, but it's an excellent question.
It's. I've been in a committee where someone is on Zoom and it's difficult.
Mhm.
It's difficult for them and it's difficult for everyone here. They don't know when to jump in because they don't get the feel of the community, the room and how it's flowing.
Well,
And
and
the
how would
conversation.
you be involved in interviews if you're not
Yeah,
here?
if you're
throughout
not
the
here, how
year?
do you do your job?
How are you gonna do that?
So she has, is she gonna commit to maybe being on Cape 6 to 8
So-
months?
So
I mean,
what's the
come for the
minimum amount
meetings,
that you'd
come
like
for
to
the
see?
interviews.
This is something we have to talk about.
Yeah,
right?
I mean, what's the minimum amount of
If she's just
in-person
on,
meetings that you'd like to see, and then we can vote on it.
I,
Say,
I
we
think it's something
recommend
we all need to think about.
yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah, because I saw it with the liaison and the chair of this other committee said, it's not gonna work. You don't get the feel of the committee working together if somebody's up there, if you get there up there.
Yeah.
Well,
I
I
know.
think
agree.
that
I don't know, like,
if they're
But,
attending,
yeah, and like you
Yeah,
said,
it's
how
not
is she
just
gonna
like-
do?
Yeah, how do you do
What- how does
interviews?
she
How do
do
you,
her
you know,
interviews?
meet
if
with?
they're attending, the way that I would manage it, because I've done a lot of this with other groups, is
And video.
Well,
Yes.
yeah, but we're here discussing this, when was the
Yeah.
last time you looked up there?
You will
But-
see
but
their
yeah.
picture up there.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
it's-
yeah,
but it's up to the chairperson to manage that. Now,
Okay.
I understand that it's difficult, but if we say we want to, and I don't have a feeling either way, I'm just sort of playing
Mhm.
both,
Yeah, both sides.
and
Okay.
I'm trying to talk about both sides. I think if we're going to welcome and enjoy the perspectives of our part-time residents, and the sense that I got is at that meeting, and I do have their agenda if anybody wants to take it home and look at it and bring it back. They kind of feel like the forgotten stepchild. And they feel
Yeah, because
like,
they have no voice.
right, they have no
Yeah,
voice,
Yeah.
no vote.
Mhm.
And they're paying,
And they pay taxes.
taxes. They're paying a lot of
They should
taxes.
have representation.
Exactly,
Yeah,
thank you,
yeah,
thank
yeah.
you. So I think that if we can benefit, with this particular person, and I think it's okay for us to look at what people bring to the committee and how the committee will benefit. And in this particular instance, this person has a entire career of human resources recruiting. So she may bring a perspective that none of us had thought of,
Mhm.
that could really
Right,
benefit
she
our
could be
committee.
very valuable, I understand, but
Yeah.
what do we do for the rest of the committees in town? Not just for our particular instance
Excellent
now.
question.
Okay, we want part-time people to feel part of the town and be on a committee,
Mhm.
but how much do we need them to attend meetings? It's kind of, I mean, that's up in the air now, we're discussing it.
And do
Well,
we
and
have,
each committee or commission should probably make that decision for themselves.
I think
once
so.
they can
Okay.
too, but I mean, for us, because there's a lot of work that's done outside of these committee meetings, you know, I mean, really what we do is outside these committee meetings.
Yeah,
I mean, if she said, I'll come, you know, and I'll come and, you know, do whatever, and come for a few days, whenever I need to do that.
Yeah.
Then
that's what we're
fine.
looking for.
Yeah, that's what some kind of commitment that she would be able to
And that's,
be present for that.
that's the word, commitment.
Yeah.
What is the true commitment to the committee? You know, not
Yeah.
just the search committee, but any committee that a
Because, you
part-time
know, you have
resident.
Windmill
And-
weekend.
You know,
and
and
the
that was
search
how,
committee
that's
can
how
be-
we lost one guy. He couldn't show the commitment to the committee.
Yeah.
Well qualified, overqualified, good for the committee. Wouldn't commit to saying, well, I could probably make it.
but you know what, that's, but
Yeah,
you know what,
just-
that's,
yeah,
that's right, you just said it. I think when we have part-time residents that are interviewing,
Yeah,
and this is for the record, non-regulatory committees, regulatory
know.
committees require, I'm saying it for the record.
mhm,
Okay,
I think that what we need to do is in the interviews, ask people how often they can meet. We know, for example, with the finance committee, we do have a part-time, well, we do have a part-time resident on the finance committee, but
But
that
committed.
person has committed to be at every single meeting.
Right.
And they do welcome that person by Zoom.
perfect.
Okay, and that person is recognized by Zoom. And that person shares and has all the paperwork by Zoom. Okay, I don't, you know, so I think it can be done, but I think you're right, Dee. It's a level of commitment for each committee. So if, for example, the search committee meets 11 months of the year, how many meetings are you willing to commit to be at
Well,
in
Oh,
person?
in person.
Yeah.
In
yeah.
person, so
There
that
you
you
go.
can do the work that we do, which is, you know, convening meetings, being a part of, and yeah, you can get on the phone and talk to, you know, committees and boards, chairs, but when it comes to sitting in here, when Hilda, for example, had all of the stuff going on with her husband and it was in New York, I was willing to sit in for her, so we can share in the responsibility as long as the legwork is done.
the
Ahead
other
of
thing
time.
that I have a question for the committee is, when you do the interviews, if you're not here, say you're in Florida or something, how can you perform the interviews?
Correct.
What is the process if you're remote?
Well,
Now, it's not just for part-time, it's for full-time,
Right.
right,
because I might
He
not be,
goes.
I'm not gonna be here February and March.
Right,
yeah,
and I
So-
filled in for Hilda,
And
and
we
we all
cover for
take
each other.
turns
Yeah,
and we
okay.
fill each
So
other.
Yeah.
the thing is, you know, the interview process, for example, is usually in person, correct?
Right,
Okay, so how does that get performed if now you're responsible for?
but you know what I'll say about that is, and Dee can probably verify this, Ellen, you've done this before, you've done it. The majority of the work
Mhm.
is done ahead of time. via phone and email. Setting everything up, making sure that you've got a select board member, making sure you've got a search committee member, making sure you've got all these people, herding the cats to get everybody in the small meeting room on Monday, the 18th of August at 9 AM. So I'm willing to sit in, if you're in Florida, I'm willing to sit in and convene, because the convening of the meeting, as you all know, is just sitting and convening and allowing the chair of the committee that the person's going to, potentially, and the select board member, who's the liaison, they're the ones that are actually doing the interview.
Mhm.
It's just convening the meeting.
Okay, I'm just
So-
trying to understand it better.
No, and that's an
And now-
excellent question.
Yeah, and now we're considering a part-time person as well. Is this gonna be effective?
Right, and I think we need to.
I mean,
ask
it
that
could be,
question.
it very well could be,
Yes.
lots of
I think
things.
it's worth a try.
Yeah,
I agree.
yeah.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
agree.
but I would like to know,
But that
like
would
you
be
said, we'll
the-
find out on
just what
Wednesday.
they-
We'll find out on
what
Wednesday what her level of
commitment is.
commitment is.
And,
Right.
and.
She might
yeah.
say, oh, I'll come for every meeting,
Or she may say, well, I can come.
Yeah.
July, August, and September, yeah, and I think,
That's not
really,
gonna be
that's not gonna work.
Yeah.
Because August, we don't meet.
We don't mean,
Right.
yeah,
Right.
right, okay, so we understand. each
So
other,
I
and-
think, but I think this is a really good conversation,
Yeah,
because
we want
we
part-timers.
want
to be on it.
part-timers to feel welcome.
Yes.
And it's their way of having a voice and being, and having some influence in the town. So we want to welcome that, but we also need the level of commitment, which means you get in your car and you come here if you need it.
Yeah.
Okay, you're paying taxes because you have the benefit of having a home here. But if you want to sit on a board and a committee and have influence, you need to show that level of commitment.
Exactly.
I think you said it exactly.
Yeah,
That's exactly.
The only
what-
consideration I would say is make some considerations for the part-time
Absolutely.
residents above and beyond the full-time, and just to be inclusive,
Exactly,
okay?
exactly.
That,
And,
that would
and
be my feeling, and be a little more flexible because they are part-time,
Right,
exactly.
but we want their input.
Thank you. I think it's really important to hear those other voices.
right, yes,
Because then it sort of mitigates well, we're feeling left out and we're not included.
Right.
Right? And I will say that in terms of the search committee, we did have a member who was in Florida and away quite a bit. And when she could join us by Zoom, she did, and she did the work. She
Great.
got, she did all the work, the phone calls, the gathering of people, and then one of us sat in and just were her voice
Okay.
at an interview. So, but in terms of the work that needs to be done by the search
It's
committee,
done
we do
beforehand.
need to have
Okay.
that. Okay,
yes.
So,
good, good.
that's the search committee. I included, strategic planning. Right now with strategic planning, one is Conservation Commission. I've got to get with Suzanne Bryan and see what, is going on with that. I think we're full. I have to check that. I included tea time on this because right now they are not meeting, but from what I'm hearing upstairs, there is going to be a re-energizing, reunification, whatever, of tea time, which, as you know, all of you know, is a bit of a hot issue. So whichever one of you takes tea time, you'll be in a holding pattern, but get ready, because when they reconvene, maybe you're gonna be called on to get people.
And it's just a life terms, that's, that's a.
I don't, and I don't agree with
Wow,
that,
I don't
but
think that's a good idea.
Or task force is life term, because they're gonna be stuck on.
Yeah.
Regulation,
Mm.
yeah, that's.
So how many people are on that committee, tea time?
um,
Should be on that committee.
I think it's either 7 or 9.
Yeah. It's a lot.
It's a lot, yeah.
It's
Well,
big,
it's not-
it's like the
Yeah, I think
Council on
it's
Aging Board of Directors.
7 or 9.
We can check that. And then the task force on
That's mine.
zoning.
That's mine, but I don't have any updates on this one.
Okay,
I'm gonna check with Jamie.
and I think we need to find out what the heck a life term is. I don't, that's,
Well, I imagine means the life of the,
Of the
The project.
committee.
Yeah,
of the
oh,
committee.
there you go.
not their
Well,
life.
yeah, but it's still,
There you go, good
Which-
thinking.
A lot of people,
Yeah.
their life is probably shorter than this, actually, this project is gonna be.
and as we're talking about these, there's one other delicate issue I just want to raise up. I had a phone call from an East Ham resident who is becoming more and more housebound. She's older. She had been on the not the health, not the Board of Health, the one that makes the grants,
Human service?
Human
the
services.
Human Services Advisory Committee. They're full. She wanted to just go back on. She had 3 terms. She was off for the amount of time, but she wanted to come back on. And the committee is full. I'm wondering, as we think about these placements along with part-time residents, there may be people who are becoming more and more housebound who really need to do something, and they probably shouldn't be driving anymore. So maybe we can start to think creatively about how we can include them too, from their homes, if they're able to get on Zoom. So it's tough. It's really hard.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
So,
don't know, I think we should.
and there, but
Stay
for
in
the
our
grace
lane.
of God goes all of us.
right.
I said, I
We're
think
all
we
gonna
should
be
stay in
that
our lane
situation.
and not try to
Yeah,
do too
and
much.
Yeah.
Right.
It just feels like that's,
It's just, it's just a thought.
Yeah.
On our.
It's a thought.
yeah.
The
I
reason
mean,
why,
I
the reason why
appreciate,
I'm
you know,
really-
your,
yeah, I'm raising it
empathy.
up because she called me personally.
yeah,
And I just said to her, well, you need to go to the town website, look at the committees that are looking for people and apply.
yeah,
And come and do an interview and we'll see what happens.
yeah.
So, I was thinking Council on Aging Board of Directors would be great. But we'll, it's just sort of thinking,
Yeah,
It's probably
when we can't get
Best
out of our
place.
houses. we'll have to do it.
next year.
Yeah,
it's just a thought.
Sure.
All
Are there
right.
committees that we have in town that aren't on this list?
All
Yeah.
of the committees and
Yeah.
boards are listed, and what's gonna happen is, and actually. When Kendra's back from vacation, I think she's on vacation this week. Both of you,
Away on a
Training.
training. She's in a training.
training, okay. Both of you can meet with either Kendra or Linda Sassy. And get into the onboard system and get a password so that you can look at all the boards and all of the committees.
You
and
can't
get
get
all
on
the
there
contact
anymore?
information. Yeah.
That was my next
I
question too.
was in the past.
So wasn't there a health committee or something?
Yeah.
These are all.
Yeah,
These are the only ones that
These are
have
the,
the
well, that was my
openings.
question.
Yeah.
This is the.
So
vacancy
not
that's
all of
never-
the
Right.
committees
No,
are on
they're
there.
not.
Right, no.
Thank you.
All of the committees are on this
This
piece of
list.
paper that I'm about to give you.
Okay, see? Good
and-
see. Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
thank you, that's actually, so, let's get,
What about the zoning board of appeals? We need to talk about that.
Yeah, what did you say about them?
That's, I think,
That was
That's
Gail.
Gail,
yeah,
that was Gail's, it's one of the ones that's coming up for,
an alternate is needed.
it's one alternate.
Oh, just alternates, okay.
Just
Okay.
alternates?
so I
Okay.
brought one for everybody. And because I don't have a color printer.
Oh, I
The
printed
highlight,
one
okay,
off,
you,
so-
all right, so. So Merrill and Ellen. I am gonna just go down this list and you guys need to take turns, just, you can do whatever. Ellen, I will ask you, since you've been on the search committee, is there anything on this list that you've worked with before that you,
I mean, I guess I would, take, kind of the ones that I had before, like the Board of Health.
the Board of Health has
Kate-
someone?
Kate has somebody.
Oh, okay,
It's
so the
the
empty
ones
ones,
that
you're
are the
talking
ones
about the
that are
empties?
highlighted.
All right, I'll do, the
yellow ones
CPC,
here are the ones that are available to grant,
okay,
okay?
I'll do this CPC, Community Preservation Committee.
Okay. And Merrill, is there one that you are looking at that you feel like you,
Affordable housing,
okay? Oh, actually, yeah, okay. Ellen, is there one Merrill for you?
So what's next? Council on Aging?
You're gonna take
You would do
council
that?
on
I'll
aging,
take that.
okay?
Can I ask you, before we go further, capital projects, isn't that just Jackie does that one?
Or-
The capital projects, we did have to find someone or someones. And it's still going on, and from what I understand, it's ramping up. There could be
Oh,
some
really?
things.
So then, could be
Projects,
things
yeah,
committee,
there
okay.
could be
I
some
didn't even
good-
know,
It's all right.
I never even heard of that.
Merrill, your turn.
my turn. All right, I'll do capital projects again, because I have no idea what you're doing.
Okay,
Jackie pretty much.
Oh,
and
and that'll be, you'll be coordinating with Jackie Beebe, the town manager. It'll
Oh,
be a good way
okay.
for you to meet her. So, Ellen,
I'll do Conscom,
that's okay.
Conservation Commission.
okay. All right,
But I
and
really
so,
hope they do.
Merrill,
Yes.
your turn.
Should I take historical? Ellen,
Or you wanna do that with? Mike?
comma, Ellen,
No, you can have it, go ahead.
okay.
Oh,
Oh,
oh my God.
Okay, so Ellen, we've got planning board, tea time, taxation aid, and zoning board of appeals.
You guys don't want to give up or trade any of yours, huh? No, man.
Well, that's a great question, Ellen. If somebody wants to trade or something.
Trade, yeah. I mean, I don't feel confident at all about a planning board that, or even what they do and
You
so on,
want to
so.
trade with one of mine, Ellen?
If
kind
you
of-
feel more comfortable, I could, trade with, you for, let's see. What do you guys?
you're gonna be on human services.
Right. Would
So
that
she
make
can't be,
sense?
no,
No.
because.
So you can't be the
no,
liaison
no,
and be on it at the same
No,
time?
that would not be, that would be,
Okay.
no.
Okay.
Sorry.
Uh,
Do you want taxation aid? Ellen, didn't you have that before?
no, I never had that.
Okay,
Well, I'd like
I
that.
had,
all right.
I had
Taxation.
recycling,
Take checks.
I had
Okay.
recycling,
That's good.
I had Board of
Alright.
Health, I had,
Yeah, I got all of yours.
I had climate action when I was on climate action, so,
Yeah, you did. didn't you?
yeah,
Yeah.
and,
You wanna take cultural council and I can take the planning board, Ellen?
cultural council,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I'll take that.
Okay,
That
so
sounds good.
cultural council is gonna be Ellen. And and what are you taking, Gergana?
Planning board.
All right, now,
So,
Merrill,
tea
you need,
time.
Merrill, you need one more, and if there's one that there's something that The zoning board of appeals, could you take that?
Sure.
Okay, that's great. Okay, so what that leaves then is,
Tea time.
Tea time and taxation or no?
No, I have taxation.
yeah, taxation, tea time and, there's one other. Oh,
That's it, no?
Now historic,
Council on Aging, oh, that, Ellen's. got
That's
that,
Ellen.
yeah.
okay,
Yeah.
and Ellen, I'll
Alright.
talk to you.
Planning.
Tea time tea time is Ellen.
Is me?
Who's
Yeah, the
doing
Ellen.
tea time?
I'll
Yeah,
do tea
that-
time.
I've got 5.
That's
That
fine.
would be the fifth.
That'd be 1, 2, 3.
So
4,
Ellen, you've
5.
got tea time. So Ellen, you've got community preservation,
Yeah,
conservation,
yeah,
council on aging,
right.
tea time,
Cultural council,
and cultural council.
right.
Okay,
And culture, that's.
Oh,
And
yeah,
it's-
because with,
with
Gergana.
Gergana, and
Gergana.
Gergana is taking the planning board.
Okay,
And Merrill, you've got Affordable Housing Trust, capital projects, historical commission, taxation aid, and zoning board of appeals. Yes,
yes.
perfect. Thank you,
Thanks.
everyone, for your flexibility and your willingness to trade and, you know, next year, when we have a new chairperson and a new clerk, if people are into it, we can also, you know, trade and stuff like that. My sense was that we did have a perspective that things should change once a year and everybody should throw things into the hopper and repick, but I think we also have to be careful because we do develop relationships with these committees where they get comfortable with us. And I don't think we want to upset that comfort level,
Mhm.
so. You know, I think it's a delicate balance, like everything, so
Yeah, it's all about relationships.
I agree, could not have
yeah,
been
no. it's
well
okay.
said.
And the chemistry of the,
Yeah.
of it all.
Okay, the next piece is, we have a search committee handbook. I'm gonna email it to you electronically if that's okay. With both of you. And, the addendum piece you have right there in front of you.
I would like this electronically, please.
Yeah, I will send everything to you electronically. We no longer have any brochures, so you and I need to get together to update the brochure and get it printed because we have Windmill weekend
Coming, yeah.
coming up
Yeah,
in
gonna need.
September. We're gonna need them.
You know what, I just need to pause for a minute and use the ladies' room,
Okay,
okay?
Yeah. Sounds like a good plan.
you didn't wear your diapers? So while we're waiting for Ellen, one of the things that the search committee has done is taken the month of August off. Is there any reason why we should meet in August? If we're able to, again, we can email each other with information. We just can't conduct any business pursuant to the open meeting guidelines. Is there anything, I think we would meet in September. Would be our next meeting, and that would be,
When is Windmill weekend?
6, 7, 8, 6, 7 days.
It's after Labor Day.
Yeah,
Right
Yeah,
after
I
Labor
just,
Day.
yeah.
7, 8.
Yeah.
First
So-
weekend.
yeah, and it would be the 7th that
Yeah.
we would need to be
7th.
there. September 7th.
Yeah.
And we would be meeting on the 16th, so it would be a debrief of the Windmill weekend.
So Kate, I will be there. And then with me, weekend, I'm volunteering for them again. for but I'll be around if you need some support.
And what I'll do is I'll just send out a grid to everybody, and if we can sign up for shifts,
Yeah,
I'm just
that's
gonna,
it.
I'm
That'll
just
be
gonna
fine.
spend the day.
Yeah, that'd be.
I'll
good.
be
Just
there
sign
spending
up
the
for
day.
shifts.
Yeah, I usually work at the Elks booth,
Okay.
you know, cooking. and stuff.
Really?
Yeah, I was there last year,
Oh, me too.
Steven and I.
2 years.
Oh, wait.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm volunteering for the merch table,
Oh, good.
selling merch. Yeah.
So, I
We'll
don't
be
know,
there.
maybe I can swing.
Yeah, we'll be there.
We'll work it
Enough
out.
of us.
It's fine,
Enough of us.
and last year,
I'll see what they need versus what you guys.
I had 6 or 7 individualized conversations with people where, what I'm gonna do is just bring sort of a map of showing people how to log in and,
When
Yes.
filling
And
an application.
log in and, fill out their application, because we really can't do anything unless somebody fills out an application.
Exactly.
And, there's no shortcuts to that.
Are there any paper applications or that's,
I think I have them. I have one.
yeah, I don't know. Oh, the brochure.
We're gonna do a QR code in the new brochure.
Yeah,
The
I
link,
think we,
yeah.
I think
So
we have to do a QR code.
This one right
There's
here.
two.
And the
Scan it.
QR code should be on
Okay.
the, yeah, and the QR code will be on our, we'll have a poster made up. And people can just point their phones at the QR code.
You can have that.
For last
Because I'm
one,
mentoring you.
Oh, that's
I
right.
have one more.
I
Oh,
have,
wow.
I've been holding on to.
I
this
have
for a
about
while.
8 of them left in my car. I found some
Well, I have. one
in my
that's-
glove
that's great.
box, so.
No, this is really nice.
Yeah, it needs a bit of a brush up, a little bit of an update. And then we'll print more. Yeah, this is pre-Gergana. I did my best.
No, it's nice.
It looks great,
Yeah, it was,
We
you
just
know,
wanna
very succinct.
add
Keep
some
it
more.
simple.
Yeah, yeah.
so, is it the sense of everyone, and I will ask Ellen when she gets back, that we skip August?
Yeah.
We meet
Yes.
again in September. Okay. And I will, I'll send you the handbook that we had put together. And I'd be curious to get your feedback on the handbook.
Okay,
I would love to hear your perspective as a brand new
yeah,
person.
say, gee, how do I go about doing this?
Right,
And it's not really clear.
right.
In the handbook, it might be clearer here, but it might.
And there is another version called, did we work on a vertical one?
Oh, there is
Do you remember I sent you a vertical
Yes,
version?
yeah.
like a
Maybe-
flow chart.
It's kind of the same, but it's like vertical.
Yeah, that might be.
So if
And-
it's in future, it will be added to the handbook.
Yeah, we're the only committee that has a handbook. One of the things that's come up, is as a search committee, there was a perspective at last month's meeting, and I do want to name this, that we should be, potentially sending letters out to all of the committee and board chair people, with instructions on how to do the search committee process. My sense is, after talking with people, that needs to come from the town. It doesn't come from us. It's really a guideline that would come from the
However, I would say that we can create that document and submit it to the town and say, here's what we'd like to see from our recommendation. And then if they need to modify anything or vote on it or whatever, that they can do that. Does that make sense?
yes.
Because we're the ones that have to do this with the committee chairs.
And one of the things that has happened that has sort of promoted this, that from floating to the top, is that, speaking for myself, if there's a committee that doesn't have a named, there's no named chairperson on the committee, and trying to reach out to people and no one responds, it becomes, you had a situation.
Yeah.
Where people don't respond. And so how do we get people onto a committee? How do we set up the interview process? How do we do everything if people aren't returning our phone calls and emails? So, for me, in the particular committee, that your husband sits on, Ellen, I started at the top, it was,
Right.
he was first because alphabetically. And when he didn't return a phone call or an email,
Right.
what I did was I just moved on to the next person. But there are situations where there are chair people named and they're not responding. And I think we really need to name that because we're expected by the select board to do what we're commissioned to do. So, so I think this document
Yeah.
will be helpful. If you guys are okay with it, well, what I'll do is for the September meeting, I will come up with a draft letter to all of the committee and board chair people. I think it should come from the town and be signed not just by the chairperson of the search committee, but also the chairperson of the select board. Perhaps, or maybe even the town, maybe it's signed just by Jackie. So we can figure that out as we move along, so. Ellen, how do you feel about, we have always taken a hiatus in August,
Yeah,
you
I'm
okay
good.
with that?
I'm good.
You're not dying to meet with us?
No, I have my
Getting
crew
this-
started yesterday and they're gonna be here for a week, so I'm not really gonna be.
Congratulations.
I'm not gonna be here. I'm not gonna be. Yeah.
All right,
Yeah.
so,
Well, and did we talk about Windmill Weekend?
yes, we're
gonna do
what we're gonna,
that.
we.
All right, so what is the date? Was
The
that,
7th.
okay, all right. Okay, because I
Yeah,
have a wedding, I
it's
think,
just
next
after the
week.
day.
Yeah,
27th is the
But
day.
Okay.
the seventh is the day,
is the day we're
Um,
gonna.
Saturday.
have
we're
the table.
there,
Okay,
Merrill is with the Elks, Gergana is with the merch table. So it may be the three of us,
fine.
And maybe. our
I'm willing
new-
to sit there.
And
Yeah.
maybe we have a new
Or-
search committee member.
You know, I may be able to
Like the
not
one
do
that
the
can't
Elks
come
and
home.
come in.
Okay,
assist.
Okay, but I
just
also
don't know yet.
want you to, it's important that we all have a life too.
Kate said she was gonna send that out, grid or something where we could sign up for whatever.
Yeah, it'll be
Sure.
a grid, there'll be a grid.
Yeah,
So.
well, if it's
she'll
only
send that
three
out.
of us, yeah, we should overlap quite a bit, otherwise it gets,
Yeah.
long.
One person, yeah.
It does get lonely.
Yeah.
No, I think we should be sitting together.
It's fun to do.
It's really fun.
Yeah.
I
As
do
long
I
as
do the
that-
Elks, I do the Elks side.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we'll
we'll
look at that, and you
store.
come over and do it with us.
And then I'll smell smell like burnt hot dogs and burgers.
Bring us hot dogs.
Bring
Bring us food.
Fried dough.
Oh,
We're big
yeah.
on fried-
Oh, yeah, okay.
And so we have our banner, right?
We have the
Yep.
banner.
Okay,
We,
We should try
and we're gonna
have
have
some-
more brochures made
yeah,
up
brochures,
and,
Do we have a budget?
we do not.
no.
So how do we get funding for like brochures, banners?
I
And
go
any-
upstairs to Jackie
And
and
any
she
swag.
finds money.
Yeah.
Well, one of the suggestions I'm gonna make is if you're having a table, if you have some swag, it could be a pen.
That attracts people.
Yeah,
Definitely, even like a little candy or something. People
yeah,
actually-
yeah, but
people
even
in
with,
with-
you know, some people like
Yeah.
whatever they want.
Yeah.
Like, you know, a pen usually is something,
It's-
or a little pad of paper with the search committee information on it, you know, like the contact information. Anything that people can grab, and then later on, they will do, you know, other than the brochure.
No, I agree.
like that.
I don't know,
Great idea. I
that's why I
agree.
asked.
What I really sort of lean into is the town of Eastham Search Committee, either little imprinted on little sticky notes.
Mhm.
So that people can make notes, or even refrigerator magnets.
Yeah, those are good too, yeah.
So, but we can, I'll talk with.
Yep.
Yeah, maybe
Jackie
it'll-
about.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't cost a lot.
Yeah, see if she has anything in petty cash that we can use. It's what I'm
I think she has a discretionary fund.
Yeah.
Right, sure.
And the select board, when I talked with Art about these ideas that I had,
Yeah.
because we don't have a budget and I wanted to have a volunteer appreciation thing in the
Right, right.
fall.
Right,
Where
right.
all the town volunteers
Right, right.
gathered and the select board would welcome them and Jackie would be there and we'd give them like a
Recognize
breakfast or
back,
something.
yeah.
And give everybody a plaque.
Yeah.
We should do that.
Art
Yeah.
Arterino said that he would find money, so
Yeah.
I know
Yeah,
that
great.
we can.
Yeah, do that.
So I think it'll be,
Definitely have
yeah.
to.
Yeah, even coffee and
Yeah.
donuts on the Windmill Green on one morning in
Yeah.
early September
Mhm.
for volunteers. Yeah, that'd be.
After the winter weekend, maybe.
Maybe October.
It's
Well,
early,
you gotta
I
be-
think early October is really a nice thing to do while it's still warm here. and
Mhm.
Well, that's, yeah, you gotta.
Yeah.
Gathering.
Work with the weather and it'd be nice to have it outside.
And Jackie is on board with a volunteer appreciation
Oh, she's
event,
good, good.
you know,
So
and it's,
she's there,
it's.
we've got this.
And I even, wanted to make it a volunteer appreciation day,
Mhm.
so.
Yeah, to be rewarding every year, why not?
Huh? Just a coffee, you go for
Yeah.
and donuts.
Well,
And see who else is volunteering in town.
What we did in
Events with
Truro was we
people.
had a volunteer appreciation luncheon at the COA. And we had seating for everyone and the members, the paid staff for town were the servers. And
That's
it
a
was
brilliant idea.
fantastic.
Yeah.
It was fantastic. So, I think, that's, but I think we could maybe get Heather from Optimal Kitchen. She just has to have a place where she can cook food and I don't know.
Well, how about this, how about bologna sandwiches?
Would be,
Yeah, I mean, that's.
well,
plenty.
the else.
Yeah.
The Elks.
Elks, yeah.
The Elks is big
Yeah,
enough.
we
We're
charge-
big. We
Yeah.
charge.
We don't have a
Sure.
cook
Yeah,
here,
no.
but we have a kitchen.
Right, but we could find a cook.
And they,
someone that's
yeah, they
willing to-
can, we do events all the time.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's. Yeah, that's
So
big.
there's some
That
options,
populace,
yeah,
So big.
yeah.
And,
Many
we
people
may
are
end up
interested.
having it in November or something like that, but inviting every person who volunteers for the town to come for
Right,
this.
sure.
As an appreciation, a
Yeah,
thank
like
you, and
Christmas
Jackie's
thing,
there
yeah.
thanking them and,
Yeah.
have little,
If we put
Gifts
in our
and-
time, we
Yeah.
put in some hours here.
Huh?
okay,
Some hours.
Yeah, definitely. I
anything
mean, it's
else?
just
Any other?
really nice to be recognized.
I just wanna say that it's
Recognize other
so
people.
wonderful having the two of you joining
Oh,
us.
geez,
And,
thanks.
the
Hope you keep thinking
mentoring
that.
and having Gergana with her art stuff that she does. and
Yeah.
It's just, yay.
Yeah.
So, anything else?
No.
Can I have a
I'll take
motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
We're adjourning at
Oh, it's pretty quick.
11.